Imagine being so unpopular that your own party gives a standing ovation to someone who just quit in a tax scandal while you're sitting right there in the audience. Welcome to Keir Starmer's absolutely bonkers reality, where his MPs are literally cheering for his former deputy who resigned in disgrace just weeks ago, while simultaneously plotting his political funeral for 2029. This isn't just awkward. This is watching your ex get engaged at your birthday party levels of brutal. And trust me, it only gets more deliciously uncomfortable from here. Picture the scene at Labour's conference in Liverpool. Steve Reed, the new housing secretary, standing at the podium doing everything short of carrying Angela Rayner around on his shoulders while calling her a working-class hero. Meanwhile, Starmer's probably sitting there wondering if he accidentally wandered into some parallel universe where tax dodgers get victory laps and prime ministers get treated like unwanted party crashers. The political irony is so thick you could cut it with a butter knife. But here's where this gets absolutely mental. Angela Rayner, the woman being hailed as Labour's patron saint of the working class, literally just resigned from government after admitting she didn't pay enough stamp duty on an £800,000 seaside flat in Hove. £800,000. That's not exactly your typical council house, is it, Angela? For someone championing workers' rights, she certainly knows how to live like the bourgeoisie she supposedly fight against. Nothing says woman of the people quite like underpaying tax on a property worth more than most people will earn in 20 lifetimes. The delicious detail here is that Rayner didn't just accidentally forget to pay her fair share. Oh no, that would be too simple. She received legal advice, proper official guidance from experts, and according to Sir Laurie Magnus, Starmer's own ethics advisor, she completely failed to heed the caution contained within that advice. That's not a mistake. That's willful ignorance with a side of rules don't apply to me. And yet here we are, watching Labour MPs applaud her like she's just won the Nobel Prize for outstanding achievement in tax avoidance. Steve Reed's gushing tribute was political theatre at its finest. "Angela, you are a true working-class hero," he declared, apparently with a completely straight face. A working-class hero who owns an £800,000 flat and can't be bothered to pay the correct stamp duty? That's like calling someone a champion of healthy eating while they are face-deep in a bucket of KFC. The cognitive dissonance is so strong it's practically generating its own gravitational field. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say, the increasingly irrelevant Prime Minister in the corner. While his MPs are literally lionizing someone who quit his government in disgrace, Starmer's approval ratings are nosediving faster than a brick with wings. The same polls showing 53% of Labour members want him gone by 2029 are painting a picture of a party that's already mentally moved on from their current leader. They are not just planning for life after Starmer. They're actively celebrating the people who've abandoned his sinking ship. The timing couldn't be more perfect for maximum political humiliation. This isn't happening at some random Labour gathering. This is their annual conference, supposedly Starmer's moment to shine, to rally the troops, to show he is still the leader they believe in. Instead, his MPs are using it as a platform to basically audition for Team Angela while treating him like yesterday's newspaper. It's like throwing yourself a birthday party and having all the guests spend the evening talking about how much they miss your predecessor. What makes this even more savage is the context of Reed's appointment. He admitted he got his dream job as housing secretary not under the circumstances he would have wanted. Translation: thanks for the promotion, but I'd much rather Angela was still here instead of you making these decisions. Keir. That's not just damning with faint praise. That's politically stabbing your boss in the back while smiling at the cameras. The sheer audacity of celebrating someone who resigned over tax issues while the party supposed to be championing fiscal responsibility is comedy gold. Labour spent years hammering the Conservatives over their various scandals and ethical lapses, and here they are giving a hero's farewell to someone who couldn't even follow the basic legal advice about paying the correct amount of tax. It's like a masterclass in political hypocrisy with a PhD in spectacular self-sabotage. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about Rayner getting a fond farewell. This is about Labour MPs sending a crystal-clear message to their current leader. We prefer the person who quit in disgrace to the person currently running the country. That's not subtle political maneuvering. That's political warfare with a megaphone and flashing neon signs. The contrast couldn't be starker. On one side, you've got Rayner being celebrated as a champion of workers' rights despite owning luxury properties and dodging tax obligations. On the other side, you've got Starmer watching his own MPs essentially hold a public audition for his replacement while he's still technically in charge. It's like watching someone plan your funeral while you're sitting in the front row very much alive, and increasingly uncomfortable. And let's be honest about what working-class hero means in this context. When Labour MPs use that phrase about someone who owns an £800,000 flat and fails to pay proper taxes, they are basically redefining working class to mean anyone who doesn't own a yacht. Rayner might have started from humble beginnings, but failing to pay stamp duty on a seaside property worth more than most people's life savings isn't exactly keeping it real with the proletariat. The psychological warfare here is absolutely brutal. Every cheer for Rayner is essentially a vote of no confidence in Starmer's leadership. Every glowing tribute to her record is an implicit criticism of his current performance. This isn't just party unity. This is a public execution disguised as a celebration, and Starmer's the one they are burying while pretending it's all about honoring someone else. What we're witnessing is a political equivalent of your own birthday party where everyone spends a night talking about how much they miss your ex-Starmer sitting there as Prime Minister, theoretically the most powerful person in the room, while his own MPs use his platform to essentially campaign for someone who's not even in government anymore. The level of disrespect is so complete it's almost impressive in its thoroughness. So there you have it. Angela Rayner gets a hero send-off for resigning over tax issues, while Keir Starmer gets to sit there and applaud his own political irrelevance. If this is how Labour treats their fallen heroes versus their current leader, no wonder 53% of party members are already planning the post-Starmer era. At this rate, they'll be naming conference rooms after her while Starmer's still technically running the show. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe, because with political drama this deliciously unhinged, there's definitely more where that came from.